Could sister wives survive without Robyn? Cody Brown could have a chance at redemption. Cody Brown's formerly thriving polygamous household has disintegrated in front of our very eyes. What initially was a pioneering exploration of plural marriage has now turned into an entanglement of heartache, estrangement, and scandal. But might there still be a chance for redemption if Cody came back to sister wives minus Robyn? Welcome back to TLC's Next Updates. I'm Sarah, and today we're diving into the emotional unraveling of the Brown family and why Cody's next chapter might require letting go of the one person still by his side. When Sister Wives premiered, it offered a rare window into Cody's life with 4 wives: Meri, Janelle, Christine, and Robyn. For years, they managed to maintain a fragile balance, but that harmony didn't last. Christine made the first to leave announcement, declaring her divorce from Cody during season 17, after a 30-year union and setting off shockwaves within the family. Janelle and Meri soon followed, leaving Cody to a monogamous relationship with Robyn, the woman most fans hold responsible for the family's disintegration. Here's where it gets messy. Robyn didn't simply marry in, she rocked the family. When she arrived in season 1, she upended the long-standing dynamic that Meri, Janelle, and Christine had spent decades building. At first, they welcomed her, but Robyn's special relationship with Cody soon became a thorn in everyone's side. And it came with a price. Cody's attention shifted dramatically. He spent more time with Robyn and prioritized their children together, often at the expense of his 13 other kids. What began as subtle favoritism soon turned into obvious neglect, deepening the emotional distance between Cody and his other wives. And worse, between him and many of his children. Still with me? You're going to want to hear what happened next. As the seasons went on, the illusion of togetherness disintegrated. Even the most understanding viewers recognized the tension building. Ex-wives and their kids started opening up, confessing what supporters had come to guess. Robyn dominated Cody's time and his affections. The chasm became painfully apparent following the heartbreaking loss of Cody and Janelle's son, Garrison Brown. 6 months following his death, the family reunited in Wyoming to bury Garrison. But even in grief, the disconnect was plain. As Janelle, Christine, and their kids mourned as a unit, Cody and Robyn were apart, physically and emotionally. They visited the attractions, going back over Cody's history, as the rest of the family concentrated on celebrating the life of Garrison. At the funeral, Robyn and her children were clearly separated from the others. A picture that said everything about just how broken this family has become. But here's where it gets interesting. Upon returning from a visit to see his grandchildren, Cody revealed an unexpected piece of news with Robyn. He had begun building a bridge with some of his estranged kids. Of the most emotional moments was when his daughter, Aspen, reached out, initiating a long overdue conversation that had the effect of mending old scars. And here's the surprise. This encounter occurred outside of Robyn's sphere of influence. Is it possible that Robyn's presence, albeit unintentional, is preventing Cody from reconnecting? In perhaps the most heart-wrenching moment of the season, Cody volunteered to dig Garrison's grave. Grieving and alone, he explained the naked hurt of the task, the fatigue, the sorrow, and the clarity it provided. For the first time in years, we saw a version of Cody free of pride and bitterness. Robyn was absent, and perhaps that's precisely why the moment rang so true. So what lies ahead for Cody Brown? There's no question that Robyn has borne a tremendous amount of heat, some of it, admittedly, unjustified. She didn't lose just a family, she inherited the anger and confusion of Cody as well. But however painful this trip has been, the writing is clear. The family can't even start to heal if the same dynamics continue to play out. If Cody does decide to come back for season 20 of Sister Wives, coming back without Robyn could be the only thing that makes sense. Not as punishment, but as a chance. A chance for Cody to confront his past head-on, have some honest talks with his kids, and perhaps, just perhaps, begin to repair what's been damaged. Because ultimately, Sister Wives was never anything about plural marriage. It was about family, and Cody still has time to battle for his. Robyn breaks down, Janelle walks away. Sister Wives faces a new reality. At the beginning of the new episode, Robyn Brown made it painfully obvious she had no desire to dredge up the past. Her frustration with filming was evident, as she ridiculed that she'd rather get a root canal than have another interview with hosts Sukanya, Krishnan, and Robyn, even balked at watching clips from past seasons, describing them as too painful to endure. But to fans, her refusal wasn't just about discomfort, it was a glaring sign of her unwillingness to take accountability. Welcome back to TLC's Next Updates. I'm Sarah, and today we're talking about the tension boiling over in Sister Wives, from Robyn's defiance to Janelle's powerful decision to finally walk away. On reality TV, evading tough questions just isn't working. Robyn's resistance to dealing with the cameras, the questions, or even her own recent history made it crystal clear she's not willing or prepared to deal with the fallout from her part in this family's downfall. And perhaps that's precisely why Sister Wives would be better without her. Now that the original premise of polygamy no longer holds, the show hasn't known where to go. Robyn and Cody's marriage is in a closed loop, static and disconnected from the rest of the Browns. Meanwhile, Meri, Christine, and Janelle have all moved on, with new lives, new paths, and more candid stories to share. It's time for a reset. Over the past few seasons, Sister Wives has become increasingly fragmented, jumping between Meri's emotional detachment, Janelle's independence, Christine's remarriage, and the chaos of Cody and Robyn's insulated household. To truly move forward, the show needs a clearer focus, the healing, or at least acknowledgement, of the wreckage left behind. Because at its heart, this isn't just a show about marriage, it's a show about family. Even if Cody's plural marriages are behind him, the emotional connections persist. He has children with all of his former wives, and those children deserve a father who is willing to rebuild, repair, and reconnect. Cody's reputation suffered after years of treating his wives and children poorly, but there's still hope for improvement, if he's man enough to seize the opportunity. And then there's Janelle Brown. As the series premiered in 2010, Janelle has been the voice of reason in the Brown family. She juggled finances, stayed cool under pressure, and quietly tolerated Cody's changing affections. But now that they have broken up, she's making it very plain. She doesn't want or require a friendship with him. In her own words, Janelle described, "I could talk to him, sure, but only if it stayed superficial." She doesn't see the importance of faking a connection for the sake of keeping the peace. To the tell-all host, she said bluntly, "I don't need it. I don't want it. I'm not going to be buddies with them or go to lunch with them." And followers couldn't agree more. Janelle's candor resonated. For years, she was an afterthought, seldom given the priority, often overshadowed, and eventually emotionally drained. When asked if she ever actually did feel deep love for Cody, her response was concise. "I just don't like them. I'm not looking for that, and I don't want to know them." That's not bitterness. It's clarity. It's growth. Janelle has since relocated her life in Flagstaff and is now in North Carolina, assisting her daughter in operating a farm. With her children being adults and no longer tied to their relationships with their father, Janelle no longer has any reason to speak to Cody or Robyn. The lone exception in recent years was the tragic funeral for their son, Garrison, a moment of shared sorrow, not reconciliation. She's finished with being stuck. She's finished with orbiting in Cody's. What's so amazing about Janelle's new life is how she's taken her hurt and used it as gas, not to throw it back, but to fuel something greater. In part 1 of the exposé, she even confessed that if she had only spent 1 year apart from everyone with Cody before marrying him, she probably never would have pulled the trigger. That's the sort of truth that rocks a foundation. As Sister Wives gears up for its next season, the question remains, what do fans want to see? A man entrenched in denial, holding on to a marriage that estranges him from everybody else? Or a tale of redemption, truth, and reunion with the children and women who once regarded him as family? Because perhaps, just perhaps, it's time for Cody to hear the truth, and for the cameras to finally roll without Robyn. Janelle's final goodbye, Robyn's meltdown, and Cody's Batman delusion, Sister Wives implodes. As the Sister Wives tell-all went on, something surprising occurred. Robyn's frosty attitude started to thaw. Initially, she appeared shut down, bored, and downright hostile, but gradually she began to temper her responses. "I don't hate them," she finally said. "I just don't want to know them." That statement struck deep. The tension leading up to filming was obvious. Before arriving, Cody asked Robyn if she was ready, and she didn't mince words. "I'd rather have a root canal." From that moment on, it was clear neither Cody nor Robyn were prepared to face the consequences of their actions. Robyn, Cody, and the rest of the Brown clan, sit back and grab your tea, because this one is shocking. During the interview, Cody and Robyn kept deflecting hard-hitting questions. If a subject made them uncomfortable, they just shut down. Fans were outraged. While Meri, Christine, and Janelle were interrogated with hard, exposing questions, Robyn breezed through the interview, dodging responsibility at every step. She even found the experience of rewatching old show clips disturbing. But what's truly disturbing is the way Cody and Robyn keep rewriting their own story while brushing off the very real hurt they've inflicted. Fans weren't having it, and neither was Janelle. For her, the deceptions have piled up over years, and now they are collapsing in on themselves. Janelle is no longer invested in getting caught up in the drama. She's moved on, literally and in her heart, and she's taking the toxic situation with her and leaving it behind forever. It is amazingly gratifying to see her walk away without so much as a glance back. But even today, there is no denying it, Cody and Robyn are in love. That love, though, is irretrievably intertwined with the collapse of the family that they once held up on national television for pride. And until Cody can disentangle his bond with Robyn from the rest of his family, nothing meaningful can ever start to heal. Season 20 offers a turning point. Without Robyn in the equation, Sister Wives can make a brash new turn on redemption, self-improvement, and Cody's troubled relationships with his older kids. No Robyn would mean no restraint on conversations and a route to forgiveness. Let's not forget, Cody's marriage to Robyn started in 2010. 4 years afterward, he formally divorced Meri to wed Robyn and adopt her 3 kids. Spiritually, he was still married to Christine, Janelle, and Meri until everything fell apart. One after another, the women departed. Christine in 2021, Janelle in 2022, Meri in 2023. With every departure, there was a warning sign. But Cody did not notice. Christine once shared, "I looked at the next 10 years of my life and thought, you know what? I'm not doing this again." That clarity changed everything for her. And it's a clarity the rest of the family is slowly embracing too. But here's where things take a bizarre turn. In part 1 of the tell-all, Cody attempted to spin himself as a victim. He said he'd been vilified. And then, in one of the most cringe-worthy moments in the show's history, he went and quoted Batman Returns. "If you don't die the hero, you live long enough to become the villain," Cody declared, completely serious. Fans were stunned. Jaws hit the floor. Scores shared a snicker on social media over what they interpreted as the newest instance of Cody's ego. "He didn't let up. My mouth runs fluidly," he supplemented, attributing his lack of filter for the controversy that he has endured. It's easy to joke about a person who speaks passionately, but with decades of dismissing, gaslighting, and ignoring those around him, Cody's cries for sympathy were not heard. The fact remains, fans quit sympathizing with him long ago. Still, Cody remains obsessed with one thing: love. He pointed to what he called jealousy from Christine, Meri, and Janelle, claiming that it poisoned their relationships. He described his bond with Robyn as something divine. "We've been touch-slapped for it," he ranted. "I'm sick of it." In a scene that was more like a villain monologue than an earnest confession, Cody stated, "I love this woman. I want peace, but I'm done feeling guilty for it. I'm walking around flipping 2 birds." The Joker had Harley Quinn, and in Cody's imagination, he has Robyn Brown. But that fantasy realm does eliminate the reality. A broken family, 3 devastated ex-wives, and 18 children left to sort through the emotional wreckage of one man's refusal to take responsibility. With season 20 on the horizon, one question lingers. Can Sister Wives be redeemed? Only when Cody breaks character and gets in the position his family really does need. A father, an ex-husband, and, when he's ready to do the work, a man attempting to get things right. Cody Brown's Batman comparison falls flat. Sister Wives cast celebrates their own stories. When Cody Brown likened himself to Batman on the Sister Wives tell-all, viewers cringed. Unlike Michael Keaton's or Christian Bale's brooding anti-hero, Cody, now a husband of only one, isn't even a particularly good anti-hero, much less a hero. The public wasn't having it. But whereas Cody attempts to present himself as Gotham's misunderstood vigilante, the women of Sister Wives are finding much more relatable and very different fictional characters to characterize their lives. The first to comment was Janelle Brown, likening her life to the tale of fried green tomatoes. Just as Evelyn Couch is reforming herself, taking charge, and forging a new path for herself, Janelle is doing the same. Meri Brown experienced her life in Cheryl Strayed's Wild, the book that sparked Reese Witherspoon's intense quest for self-discovery. It's a wonderful story, Meri explained, full of horrible, painful, heavy moments, but also incredible, beautiful ones. It's helped define who I am today. Christine Brown had another tactic. Her existence, she joked, is a madcap whirlwind like everything everywhere all at once. It's just craziness, constant busyness, but I adore it. The cold contrast between Cody's comic book world fantasy and the women's reality-based stories couldn't be more stark. Fans lost their respect for Cody years ago, particularly after his boastful declaration of being an anti-hero. Numerous fans wondered if he even watches the show, reads the interviews, or keeps up with the fans' responses online. Does he actually believe his own reality TV world? Throughout the tell-all, Cody and Robyn were repeatedly called out for their contradictions and lies. So often, fan accounts dug up footage to fact-check their statements, comparing past episodes with their current claims. And with 3 more tell-all episodes still to air, there's no telling what else will come out of Cody's mouth. One thing is clear, Cody desperately needs to change. And that transformation hasn't been easy. Since the heartbreaking loss of his son, Garrison Brown, Cody has faced grueling emotional challenges. Sometimes, life forces growth through devastating events, and Cody is slowly coming to terms with that. His resilience is something fans can respect, even if they don't agree with all his choices. Now, Cody and Robyn have settled into a new house. A fresh start. Even though his battle with his former wives persists, this new beginning could bring some serenity. Their existence is not perfect, but Cody's newfound softness could open the door to healing. Though their home furnishings may change, some old friends will likely stick around, such as the gemstone and seashell sculpture, a symbolic reminder of their history. Cody's clone plan. Flattering to Robyn, a dream come true for none of the other wives' sister. Wives viewers, get ready. Cody Brown just let slip a jaw-dropping scheme to fix his busted marriages. Robyn appeared to be impressed. But Meri, Janelle, and Christine, not exactly. On the first one-on-one episode of Sister Wives Season 19, Cody presented his side of the story, or more accurately, his saga. He described why his plural family disintegrated, but only from his and Robyn's point of view. As Cody narrated, Robyn was by his side, nodding in agreement. The other wives were not so easily fooled, however, by the fault lines in his argument. His so-called solution wasn't only wrong, it was also demeaning. In Cody's view, the secret to preserving his 3 marriages was for Meri, Janelle, and Christine to emulate Robyn, to use her devotion, behavior, and priorities. Translation? Had the other wives been Robyn clones, all would have been well. That notion? Unrealistic and simply disrespectful. The truth is, Meri, Janelle, and Christine are complicated women with individualistic personalities and limits, something Cody and Robyn seemingly never fully comprehended despite having years of marriage. This discovery simply emphasizes how disconnected Cody and Robyn were from the dynamics that kept the family together, and what eventually destroyed it. Cody Brown's attitude towards his marriages does come with a glaring pattern. He puts his relationship with Robyn on a whole other level, one which he terms as divine, or even religious. The love he feels with Robyn, per Cody, is a much higher love compared to what he felt with his other 3 wives. He employs language which suggests worship in terms of how Robyn loves him, which is just fitting for Cody's own set of expectations. For him, Robyn's love is characterized by profound obedience and readiness to fulfill his every requirement, bordering on the aspect of worship. This dynamic has incensed a great deal of ire among fans of Sister Wives. As opposed to Robyn, Meri, Janelle, and Christine never quite conformed to this image of unqualified devotion. They were not afraid to assert themselves, maintain their own identities, establish clear boundaries, and make themselves heard, things that conflicted with Cody's demands for unqualified compliance. The difference between Robyn and the other wives was made starkly apparent when host Suki asked Cody how he was going to save his marriages. This plan was devised when the other wives allegedly still had one foot out the door. Or at least, when Cody believed there was still a chance to save the plural family. He was mistaken. What's nearly mind-boggling is the fact that after decades of marriage, Cody apparently thought Meri, Janelle, and Christine could be reprogrammed or resculpted into Robyn's clone. Any viewer of Sister Wives understands this was never going to be possible. Nevertheless, Cody's line of reasoning formed around this conception. First, he assessed what he already had with Robyn and what he was missing with the other three wives. Viewers witnessed that light bulb moment when Cody grasped Robyn's devotion, and he naively believed he could upgrade his relationship with Meri, Christine, and Janelle to be the same. To ensure his plan was understandable, Robyn even parroted Cody's statement in her own one-on-one interview, flattering his vision and confirming his logic. Whether she was really sold or merely covering for him, Robyn made it plain that she wasn't challenging his perspective. But was Cody's scheme ever actually about saving his marriages? Or was it more about reaffirming his connection with Robyn? Sister Wives viewers picked up on the fact that Cody's scheme was decidedly flattering to Robyn. By stating that there could be no more perfect relationship than the one he shares with her, Cody quite literally provided a public forum to heap praise upon his final wife. In one way, his tale fulfilled two needs. It provided Robyn with the adoration in which she feeds, and it presented Cody as a man who seriously considered how to rescue his plural family before it was too late. But Cody's solution was never going to succeed. When Meri, Christine, and Janelle heard Cody's proposal in their one-on-one interviews, they were anything but complimented. In fact, they found it ridiculous to be asked to become Robyn. Christine candidly reported that Cody never made an effort to enhance their marriages in any substantive way. Janelle laughed at the idea, but Meri's response said it all best. Weird seashells and gems wall hanging. What Cody and Robyn's foyer decoration reveals about their relationship: Cody and Robyn Brown are famous for their strong and sometimes unusual home decor, and one of the items stood out most to Sister Wives fans: a semi-precious gem and seashell wall hanging that overwhelms the hallway of the home. This peculiar sculpture, crafted from tanzanites, amethysts, and an assortment of seashells, is quite a declaration. Although the Browns have not openly discussed the significance of the sculpture, fans cannot help but wonder what it tells them about the relationship between the couple. The Browns' previous Flagstaff home sold for $1.9 million before their new one was bought for $2.1 million, was packed with eclectic trinkets that invited wonder and sometimes ridicule. Redditors and others have made jokes about their taste, their gaze especially focusing on this seashell and gem work of art. One Reddit user, Mindful Goat Nugget, even posted a digital tour of the Flagstaff house for sale, and they gave a close-up view of the strange but intriguing wall decoration in the front entry. What is noteworthy about this work is its excessiveness. The elongated rectangular board accommodates masses of glittering, semi-precious stones, among them tanzanites, which were initially found close to Mount Kilimanjaro in the 1960s, mixed with empty seashells, giving a half-shell oyster effect. Although the gems are irrefutably gorgeous by themselves, their concentrated, encrusted grouping is overwhelming for some observers. Unlike how a jeweler holds a single precious stone in a velvet-lined case to bring out its brilliance, this art stacks nature's treasures on top of each other, which some people feel dilutes their individual effect. For those who subscribe to crystal energies, tanzanites are purported to possess balancing qualities. This may be significant considering that Robyn is a Libra, a zodiac sign represented by scales and characterized by its yearning for balance and harmony. Libras tend to be born jugglers, harmoniously balancing fitness, social lives, and family life in the same way gymnasts ace tough routines. But the sign is also said to be self-absorbed over beauty and sometimes smug, characteristics attributed to the numerous blessings and privileges that Libras have. Robyn's Libra personality could account for part of her behavior on the show. her assertive expressions of joy with Cody, which some interpreted as rubbing their relationship in the faces of his other wives and children, could be an example of the passive-aggressive tendency of the sign. Isrenia popular Libras such as Gwyneth Paltrow also have a reputation for secure self-esteem, occasionally seen as snobbish, as Ben Affleck previously suggested. But as a whole, Libras are friendly, social, and enjoy being around beauty and harmony. Attributes that may account for Robyn's appreciation of the flamboyant and luxurious in life, as well as in home furnishings. Surrounded by beauty and symbolism, it's not surprising that Robyn Brown has collected an eclectic, emotionally charged group of art pieces. From swoony paintings to jewel-encrusted sculptures, her style tips toward the symbolic and the lovely. Amethyst specifically takes center stage in the showpiece hanging in their foyer. Famous for their protective properties, these deep purple gemstones have been associated with spiritual protection since ancient times. So much so that Catholic bishops have traditionally worn amethyst rings as a protective measure against mystical intoxication. Although Robyn is not Catholic, she's described as a devout Christian. The religious vibrations of these stones could resonate with her need for peacefulness, harmony, and shielding against negativity, particularly as the increased attention she and Cody receive continues to escalate. And then, of course, are the seashells, another piece of that notorious sculpture. Though they bring to mind coastal loveliness, they also symbolize protection, secrecy, and emotion. But as captivating as the decor is, it's also a reminder of increased isolation in Cody and Robyn's life. Signs Cody and Robyn may not return to sister wives. The tide could be shifting for Cody and Robyn Brown. As sister wives may be coming to an end after season 19, there are a few indications that the couple may not be back if the show does continue. They've gradually found themselves on the outside, looking in on a narrative that once centered around a big, plural family. It all started with a spark in 2010. And by 2014, Cody had left his first wife, Meri, to marry Robyn legally and adopt her children. But along the way, what initially appeared to be a spiritual relationship evolved into something more intimate and eventually more divisive. As Cody's relationship with Robyn deepened, he lost touch with Meri, Janelle, and Christine. Christine was the first to split in 2021, opting to put herself and her own happiness first. 1 year later, Janelle followed suit as well, chasing her dream of a fresh, independent life in North Carolina. Meri followed in 2023, ending her spiritual marriage to Cody and relocating to Utah to work on her business, Lizzie's Heritage Inn. The last chapter? Though Cody and Robyn remain in Flagstaff, their physical and emotional distance from the rest of the family grows greater. The other cast members are leading vibrant, independent lives, forging new relationships, pursuing dreams, and starting families. By comparison, Cody and Robyn's scenes in season 19 were all about reflection, tortured, sometimes defensive, and rarely redemptive. They've made it official. They no longer have faith in polygamy. Cody has stated he's out of the lifestyle. And while Robyn has indicated she might reconsider under certain conditions, their hearts aren't in it. In reality, their narrative is finished. There are no new pages, just outstanding apologies and the resonance of what used to be. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this in-depth look at Cody and Robyn's symbolic universe and future on Sister Wives, don't forget to like, subscribe, and press that button so you never miss a post. There's always something else to discover in the ever-changing story of the Browns.